Hi, I'm Dean from Bluestone. In this next video in our series for landlords about Renting Homes Wales Act, we'll be discussing the new occupation contracts and the key terms you need to be aware of. From the 1st of December, tenancy agreements will be replaced with the new occupation contracts. Now, there are two types of occupation contract. There is a secure contract for use by community landlords, and then the standard contract for the private rented sector. As the majority of landlords are going to be using the standard contract, from here onwards we will only be discussing and referring to the standard contract. Please note that tenants are called contract holders in the new contracts. Model written statements for the contracts can be downloaded from the government website. Standard contracts are split into fixed term and periodic contracts. Unlike most current tenancy agreements, the fixed term and periodic occupation contracts contain different terms, so you need to understand the differences between them. The main difference between the fixed term and the periodic relates to the termination and variation of the contract. In the fixed term, there is no provision for the termination of the contract by the landlord unless the contract holder is in breach of the contract. There is also no provision for any variation of the contract. So, for example, you cannot increase the rent during the fixed term. The periodic then includes additional terms to explain when and how no-fault notices can be issued, and to explain when and how rent can be increased. Within the contracts, there are rules about what you can and cannot change. The terms are organised into 4 categories. There are fundamental terms which cannot be changed or omitted. The fundamental terms reflect the fundamental provisions of the Renting Homes Wales Act. Supplementary terms can be modified, but it must be made clear what modifications have been made, and additional terms can be added to the contract, but they must be fair and not contradict any of the fundamental terms. The contracts also contain a section at the start with the key matters. These refer to the names of the parties, the address of the property, the occupation date, and the rent. Now, it's important to note that the model contracts are missing some important key matters and terms. And some of the terms, such as the contract holder's obligations to take proper care of the dwelling, are quite broad. The most important term of the contract that you need to understand are the fundamental terms. The fundamental terms refer to and explain the rules regarding the deposit, prohibited conduct, the landlord's obligations regarding the care of the dwelling, including the fitness for human habitation regulations, termination of the contract, and the provision of information. Make sure you read these terms carefully and understand what they mean for you. If you have any questions about any of the terms, please don't hesitate to contact us. You will need to make sure that you use a deposit scheme and provide the contract holder with the required information. You need to understand your obligations regarding keeping the property fit for human habitation and in repair. You need to understand when and how a contract can be terminated or varied, and the rules regarding possession, claims, and notices. The written statement of the contract must be given to the contract holder within 14 days of the occupation date. If you fail to provide the written statement within the 14 days, you will be liable to pay compensation to the contract holder. For existing tenancies that will convert on the 1st of December, you will have 6 months to issue a written statement of the converted contract. In this video, we've just gone through the basic key changes. So if you have any questions about the occupation contracts or any of the new rules introduced by the Renting Homes Wales Act, please feel free to give us a call on 01633 841 805. And thanks for watching.